everyone, welcome back. So in my last message, I mentioned what a long, dark, winding tunnel spiritual warfare can feel like. So in today's message, I wanted to talk to you all about how I've been managing my trials and tribulations, and hopefully offer you all some means and mental tips to get through this time as well. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm just taking life day by day, just like everybody else, and just sharing what's been working for me. What's interesting though is that while I was thinking about how I could describe exactly how I've been maintaining mentally during this time, I was watching Crystal Renee Hazlett's podcast, which is called Keep It Positive, Sweetie. She was interviewing Ty Tribbett, who is one of my favorite gospel artists because he has such a signature, unique style of music. He's energetic and eclectic and extremely multi-talented artist. So I was listening in just expecting to hear more about his music and his process and his career, but they actually got really deep, and Ty starts to talk about how he would be bullied for having big teeth and being black, and then he goes to talk about how he handles affliction and adversity. And he said something that really just took the words that I was looking for right out of my mind as I was trying to build out this message. So Ty mentions a particular Bible verse where Jesus says, "Let not your heart be troubled." And then Ty explains how God never said that he would make sure that your heart is never troubled. Ty articulates and explains how it's our responsibility to be in trouble but not troubled. Again, it's our responsibility to endure trouble and not be troubled, to not let it get to us, to not believe it when someone tries to tell us who we are, to not give power and authority to the enemy, to the systems and people that are dedicated to tearing us down, because they will aim for your mind. Any smart opponent will aim for your head and not the tail, because if the enemy can convince your mind that you're just a little shepherd boy when God knows you're David, if the enemy can convince your mind to just focus on your small size, even though God's given you a natural talent to accomplish a miracle, if the enemy can distract your mind and just make you focus on what you look like from the outside, instead of focusing on what God made of you on the inside, the only part that matters, if the enemy could get to David's mind, David would have never picked up that slingshot and that stone. But David was one after God's own heart. He wouldn't be distracted by what everyone saw on the outside. His own family couldn't see it. But David knew what God made of him on the inside. David knew he had a skill, the secret talent he had inside of him. A simple, easy, effective talent. David understood how God can do whatever he wants to do, whenever and however he wants to do it. So David wasn't distracted by the small stature everyone else was looking at from the outside in. David saw himself from the inside out. That's how we let not our hearts be troubled, by not focusing on the chaos outside, but by focusing on who we are inside. And that's a child of God. I know that I'm a child of God, whether I'm in rags or designer clothes. I have the peace of God. I know who I am at my core, and I know who I serve. So I've been maintaining to stay afloat by not focusing on the chaos going on around me. I don't focus on what's going on outside of me. I'm focused on God and the peace, because you have to remember, a ship never sinks because of the water that's around the ship. A ship was designed to float on water, to sail and travel through water. It was designed for it. A ship never sinks because of the water that's outside. A ship only sinks when water gets inside the ship. Don't allow the chaos and criticism to leak into your mind. Don't believe in it. Focus on who God tells us we are. God said he made you in his own image. So don't listen to the chaos and criticism all around you. That's what drowns us. That's what troubles us. That's what sinks us. And Jesus makes us cognizant of that in this verse. "Let not your hearts be troubled" was a verse Jesus said to his disciples, telling them to not be afraid, but to trust in God and in him. This encourages his disciples to have faith and offers them his peace, which is beyond the world's peace. God's peace is the ability to sleep through the storm, knowing God is in control, having full faith in the power of the Holy Trinity, and trusting your life in God's hands. So I had to make a whole message around that very part. It's our responsibility to endure trouble and not be troubled. I felt the need to echo that clip from Ty and Crystal's interview because Ty took the words right out of my mind. That's all I've been doing. I know times are difficult, but God has given me his peace. So I'm not depending on crooked people or toxic substances or toxic habits to get me through this time. I'm focusing on God to get me through this time, and He's kept my mind and my heart at ease better than I could ever do without Him. And I thank God. I praise God for that alone. I love God. I love God for His forgiveness. I love God for my existence. I love God for maintaining me with His provision and His protection and His peace. I know I can't make it without God. And for this alone, I thank God every day in prayer. This is why I trust God, and I continue to trust God, and I will always trust God and love God and praise God for everything He's done for me and continues to do for me. And that's my message for today, family. I wanted to remind you that we can endure trouble and not be troubled. Focus on who God has made you to be. Don't let the salt water from outside the ship leak into you. That's the only thing that can drown you. You were built to float above it. It may be all around you, but it's still beneath you because you're a child of God, and you just have to focus on that. If you find my channel helpful, I hope you'll subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a message. I post daily, so I'll be back soon with a new message. In the meantime, keep your heads up, family. Stay prayed up. I love you all, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.